on top of our stories. Let us know how Quantum celebrated holidays through its Christmas display. December Community Outreach through Holiday of Hope, Quantum Gift Giving 2021. Let us get to know the 5 personalities running for president. Social media misinformation and its effects on TQA voters. Be informed of the latest vaccination statistics in General Santos City. Stephen Curry makes a new NBA history. How the world celebrates New Year's Eve on pop culture. Reaching out to you straight from the Quantum Academy. This is Quantum League.
Happy 2022 TQA community! For our Quantum Insider News, let's know how Quantum celebrated holidays through its Christmas display. For complete details, reporting the leap is Cassidy Valencia. Cassidy?
Greetings everyone! Christmas is just around the corner and behind me is the great manifestation of it. Together, let's get to know more about the TQA's Christmas display. Christmas is a day that holds all time together. It's that time of the year again, jolly singing and cozy weather. Christmas is all about love and family. It is about spending time with them. For most, family is at home. For some, it's at someplace else like school. It is about cherishing every moment you have with them, and one of the best ways to start up Christmas is by putting up Christmas decor. Our school, the Quantum Academy Incorporated, has started decorating its campus on November 22, 2021, with such bewildering Christmas display. Despite the pandemic, the Quantum Academy still managed to put those Christmas spirit up by putting up those dazzling Christmas decors, even without the involvement of the dearest Q kids.
Una-una sa lahat, napapasalamat pa ako kina Teacher Rose, Teacher Cosette, na sa pagbibigay ng tiwala at sa team ko na natapos ito ng maayos at maganda naman kinalalabasan. At every time na may nakakita ko na tao na masaya, na napapawaw sa ganda ng mga decoration natin, yung pagod at hirap na ano namin dito is sulit talaga. Thank you.
It has been somewhat a school tradition that every year they would host a little Christmas decorating competition like what we most Q kids look forward every year. The display is open to the public until January. Indeed, Quantum is not just a school, but a place that feels like home. So enjoy and happy holidays everyone. This is Cassidy Valencia reporting and taking the leap.
The Quantum Academy conducts its December Outreach Drive. To know more about this, we have Mika Paderna. Mika?
This December, the school's Community Outreach Club, along with the Student Council, has launched a program with the theme Holiday of Hope Quantum Gift Giving 2021, consisting of a series of donation drives to help targeted recipients within the city. The school started accepting donations from the TQA community last November 23 up until December 9.
So this is the Holiday of Hope, the Quantum Gift Giving 2021. We have come up this program like we used to do in the past years, so we can share, we can give something to the community. For this year, our beneficiaries are those who are within the community, including those who are also affected by the fire in Barangay Kalumpang, in Saeg, and also the people deprived of liberty. But with all this, we would like to give our million thanks to our donors, to our benefactors, because they are the ones who actually put effort on this. Aside from this is a school competition or a house competition, so I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, especially the parents and the entire Quantum community. This is indeed a holiday of hope. This is indeed a season of sharing. Thank you very much to everyone.
It is comprised of several activities, which are all house competitions. The first two donation drives, which will be held on December 14 and 15, are minor house competitions intended for the fire-hit victims of Purok Saeg in Kalumpang and the persons deprived of liberty, or PDLs, in the GSC jail respectively.
Sir, good morning. In behalf of General Santos City Jail, we give you thanks sa food pack po na ginibigay niyo po sa amin. At once again, maraming salamat and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
The final and the major donation drive will be on December 16, which is the Noche Buena packs for those living in Purok Bayanihan, Barangay San Isidro.
Nagpasalamat ko sa Quantum kay kami ang napili nila na tagaan diri sa community namo. Daghan kay salamat sa mga Noche Buena package na ilang gipanghatag sa bugas. Thank you kayo. Merry Christmas sa tanan na parents, student, mga teacher, tanan, kay Teacher Rose, Teacher Cosette, sa tanan na taga Quantum Academy. Thank you kayo.
As always, it's better to give than to receive. This is Micaela Paderna reporting and taking the lead.
Let us get to know the personalities running for president in the upcoming 2022 Philippine elections. Since November 15, 2021, several contenders aspiring for the most major position in the country have already filed their COC or certificates of candidacy. The following will be a list of those several aspirants, some familiar and maybe unfamiliar faces for the 2022 polls. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. After his father's controversial rule, 64-year-old Bongbong Marcos has decided to run for president. Bongbong has been a provincial governor, congressman, and senator for the time being. One of his messages to the public was, "I will bring that form of unifying leadership back to our country," Marcos said after filing his COC. Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso. Isko was a former actor before he went into politics. He claims that he did not come from a large clan of presidents or a family involved in politics, and calls himself a centrist in a country still deeply divided by the Duterte administration. He is running together with Dr. Willie Ong, a certified physician. Maria Leonor Leni Robredo. Current Vice President Leni Robredo changes her campaign color from yellow to a vibrant pink. She is a human rights lawyer who aims to uplift the lives of members of marginalized communities in the Philippines. Ms. Robredo is also praised for her pandemic response program since the strike of COVID-19. She is an independent candidate running alongside Senator Francis Pangilinan. Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao. Surprisingly enough, the retired pambansang kamao of the Philippines will be running for president too. He does not have President Duterte's best interest because of several fallouts concerning hidden conflicts in the PDP Laban party. On the brighter side, PROMDI, a Cebu-based party, has been endorsing and supporting Pacquiao for president. Panfilo Lacson. Senator Panfilo Lacson and Senate President Vicente Soto III launched their campaign on Wednesday, September 8th, making them the first tandem to formally announce their presidential and vice presidential candidacies in the 2022 elections. Sir Lacson campaigns against illegal drugs, criminality, and corruption. In total, there are 94 aspirants for president and 26 for vice president, although the 5 that I have mentioned have been stirring up news the most in social media. It is our responsibility as Filipinos to be up to date with the latest news which will supplement our voting strategies come 2022. This is Lay Angelo Valencia taking the lead.
Are TQA voters affected by social media misinformation in relation to the 2022 Philippine elections? Reporting the leap is KZ Cabel. KZ?
The Philippines is less than half a year away from election season. With this and the so-called infodemic, misinformation remains to be a pressing issue in the country. A recent Pulse Asia survey states that more or less 65% of Filipinos have access to the internet. Furthermore, it adds that these citizens surf more than once a day. This makes them susceptible to fake news or misinformation. Being Filipino citizens as well, the quantum community is not an exemption to this phenomenon.
In order to handle misinformation, I always check the authenticity of the choice. I weigh every information by checking on the specific publisher if they are indeed legit. And if the information are indeed fake, based on my investigation, I would report it to proper authority. And of course, I will not spread it further. I feel that social media will be abused. It might not be a good avenue to inform people about a specific candidate. It will spread misinformation that would influence others, especially youth's decision-making process. As wide array of information flow with the aid of social media, it will be very difficult to filter already compromised platform. As a voter, am I affected? Yes, definitely. My right to suffrage must be exercised well. In this case, when misinformation spreads, every voter becomes vulnerable.
As Teacher Dilson said, all voters can be vulnerable to wrong information shared through social media. Knowing this, is there anyone in particular to blame? Or is it a collective mistake?
As a voter, yes, I am affected by it, since you would really want the most credible and trustworthy information to make a sound decision on who to vote for. With the prevalence of misinformation, it is hard to distinguish which given information is factual or not. This does not only affect me, but also other voters, which makes it even more of a problem.
In some ways, if you're going to ask me, my personal views are affected. For instance, there are times that resources engraved by logo that appears to be legit and that the information disseminated seem valid. Take for example, the issue of the aspiring presidential Bongbong Marcos with his credentials stating that he finished social studies in 1978 in Oxford University. But as per counter-check, Oxford stood that as per their records, he did not complete his degree but was only awarded a special diploma in social studies.
Because it is not a specific person or group of people's fault, it is everyone's task to play a part in stopping the spread of false or inaccurate information. As some of them are eligible voters for the upcoming elections, how do the students of the Quantum Academy fulfill this task?
I usually handle it by checking if the facts I receive are truthful or not. There are many credible sites out there besides social media. Primary sources should be taken into account, but if the primary sources are also lying to us, then that's a whole other story that should be taken into account.
The Filipinos' right to suffrage was not just granted. It is a product of the early Filipinos' blood, sweat, and tears. Therefore, if you're a Filipino citizen and/or an eligible voter, you must examine your actions and take your part. This is KZ Charisi Cabel reporting and taking the lead.
It is time to know the latest vaccine statistics here in General Santos City. Reporting the leap is Ashley Cruz. Ashley?
The country was relieved early 2021 when vaccines started to roll out. In General Santos City, the vaccines surely help in containing the cases of the coronavirus. According to LGU Jensen's Facebook account, vaccine statistics of General Santos City from March 8, 2021 to December 10, 2021 show that there are over 521,143 total doses administered, 5,979 of which were administered on December 10, and 4,052 average daily doses in the last 7 days. 329,065 of the population are on their first dose. 3,405 of these were administered on December 10. 188,147 comprise the statistics for second dose and single dose, where 2,373 doses were administered on December 10. As for the booster dose, there are over 3,931, and 201 of these were administered last December 10. Here's the latest vaccine statistics in General Santos City. For more updates about the vaccine statistics, kindly visit LGU Jensen's official Facebook page. This is Ashley Cruz reporting and taking the leap.
Let us have some COVID-19 updates, specifically vaccines for 5 to 11 years old. Reporting the leap, Camille De Leon. Camille?
The national government is aiming to start COVID-19 vaccination of minors aging 5 to 11 years old in January 2022. This is according to Carlito Galvez Jr. Pfizer-BioNTech has applied for emergency use authorization of its COVID-19 vaccine. Food and Drug Administration Director General Eric Domingo confirmed. He also said that Sinovac had applied for authorization in 3 to 17-year-old but lacked clinical data for approval. Once the EUA is released, the said vaccination will start immediately. The government hopes to do it by the first quarter of 2022. This immediate action is for the planned reopening of classes and to combat the new COVID-19 variant Omicron. The government is aiming to vaccinate 13.5 million 5 to 11-year-old children. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said that the Philippines has enough supply of vaccines for this target number, with about 40 million doses expected to arrive in the country by the end of the year. Let us keep ourselves posted about the next step to having herd immunity through vaccination in the country. This is Camille De Leon reporting and taking the leap.
Good day. This is Quantum Leap's weather forecast. As a new year dawns, so does the state of our weather. For the first 10 days of 2022, there will be an average of 95% of cloud cover, with the probability of precipitation averaging 65%, along with a total of 22 millimeters of rain, with approximately 12 hours of rain. In addition, majority of the wind direction will be northeast bound, with an average speed of 9 kilometers per hour. Though the first 10 days of the new year might be a little gloomy in terms of the weather, we must not forget to spend these days with our family, for it is our filial love that matters, rain or shine. Once again, this is Lay Angelo Valencia, giving you weather updates and taking the leap.
It's time for another sports update. Stephen Curry makes NBA history. The modern NBA is known as the three-point era due to the massive increase of three-point attempts and shots. One of the most well-known and revered shooters from beyond the arc goes by the name of Stephen Curry, who you may have heard of. Curry is most well known for his deep three-point shots and consistency. Considered as one of the greatest point guards of all time, Curry was credited in revolutionizing the game of basketball with his consistent and deadly three-point shots. Curry and the Golden State Warriors were dominant in the mid to late 2010s, winning 3 championships in 5 years. Stephen Curry is a crucial piece to this success, and apart from team success, he also broke a ton of three-point related records. The one record everyone knew he was going to break was the most three-point shots made for an entire career, and it soon became a reality. On December 15, 2021, the NBA was in awe when history was made. The Golden State Warriors were going up against the New York Knicks in the famed Madison Square Garden Stadium. The two-time MVP just needed 2 3-pointers to tie the record, and he would soon tie it in the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. He would soon shoot yet another one to break Ray Allen's 2,973 career 3-point shots, which was once seen as unbreakable. The Warriors comfortably beat the Knicks 105-96. But the real talking point was the new record holder. The record would just keep piling on as Curry still has a good 5 to 6 years left, making the record ever more unbeatable. This has been Nero Emmanuel Sirigoglio, giving you more sports buzz and taking the leap.
Let us know how the world celebrates New Year's Eve 2022. Around the globe are many different countries with different ways to celebrate New Year's Eve. In nearly every country, there is a midnight feast to celebrate the upcoming year and distinct traditions that come along with it. In countries like the Philippines, Pakistan, and Spain, fireworks are lit up to drive away evil spirits and to welcome the new year. In China, people give out red envelopes and offer sacrifices. They also perform a dance called the Barongsai that is believed to bring good fortune. Most countries serve pork on New Year's Eve because pigs represent growth and fortune. In Japan, Buddhist temples ring their bells 108 times, which represents the number of evil desires humans have. Places in Estonia celebrate by decorating their villages. In America, an average of 1 million spectators wait together for the next year to come. Once again, happy 2022 everyone! This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay taking the leap.
Hello and good day.
Welcome to
POV, Points,
Opinions,
and Views. Today's topic, the impact of social media and misinformation on TQA voters regarding the elections. Now, Gea, here's the thing. The elections are one of the most, important events of a country as it decides the president and every other government official. So the question is, are TQA voters even affected by misinformation regarding the elections?
Good question. Personally, I think it depends if we choose to be affected by misinformation, because I believe that most of us, if not all of us, use social media every day, so we are exposed and vulnerable to misinformation or fake news. So it just goes down to whether or not we know how to determine fake news from real news. But what about you?
Here's the thing, even though I use social media, or I'd say I use social media relatively a lot, I personally have not been a victim of social misinformation or social media, tricking me into thinking that a fact is, false. But here's the thing, it's kind of a big deal because when someone is affected by misinformation, the idea of a belief or something that is actually a fact would be changed or twisted because of that misinformation.
Yeah, I agree with your point, but how can we distinguish real news from fake news?
Ooh, that's a good question. And here's the thing, there are lots of ways for news to be spread. There are stuff in social media, there's the TV, there's the radio, and etc. For me personally, I avoid relying on social media for my news. Instead, I would go more on the TV route or for the radio, since it's more live and it's less scripted, making it, for you to realize that it's 100% legitimately news. But what about you? How do you think we can distinguish the two?
I agree with your point. And to add with what you said, if we do look at information online, we must first check the source and also check other sources concerning the article, and of course investigate the article itself. And obviously we have to go to reliable websites that are accurate.
Now that is a good answer, and I have one more question to ask you. So as a student, as yourself, how do you think we can stop the spread of misinformation?
As a student myself, we can stop misinformation by first fact-checking our sources, and of course, we shouldn't rely on all the websites that we come across, such as Wikipedia. But how about if you're not a student? How can you stop the spread of misinformation?
Well, if you're not a student, or if you're an adult per se, I feel like you have more of a responsibility when distinguishing fake news to real news, since you're seen as more mature, more responsible, and you're supposed to have more connections within like real websites or real news. So that's why I feel if you are a responsible adult out there, you should even like help the students or any children or any gullible person out there who believes those fake news and correct them.
Yes, I agree with your point. And being able to spot misinformation online, students like us can prevent the widespread distribution of fake news online. Thank you for listening, and we hope you learned something today about misinformation. So please be guided.
Watch out for the next episode of POV regarding the current news and relevant issues.
This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay.
And I've been Nero Manuel Sirigolyo, and
this has been POV.
We're back, you kids. Did you miss me? I did. It has been 10 light years since the last episode. Really? It's so long, guys. I feel like I hibernated. I'm missing all the fun. But now that I'm back, I'm so pumped up now, more than ever. So now that we are all excited and fired up, let's get this party started. I said fired up because this episode will be fiery and hot. We will be playing with fire. Wait, that's not right. Right? This episode is going to be a treat. Because today we will be, drumroll please, cooking. Applause please. Yes, you heard it right. We will be cooking. Not just cooking, I'm talking about soul food, ladies and gents. Food for the souls. Yummy. We will be cooking recipes handed to us by no other than our grandmas. Woot woot. Wait, but before we continue, can we press a second or two to appreciate and remember all the cute kids' grandma and grandmas all over the world?
Aww.
Grandmas we have and grandmas we enjoy by memory and in spirit. Big shout out, Grandma! I'm getting sentimental, but the show must go on. So, where was I? Cooking! This episode, you kids, we will be doing a cookout. I will be showing you how to cook my grandma's homegrown meals. My grandma has lots of recipes, so it's very tough to pick one for today's show. But I'm thinking of cooking something light yet heavy. A smaller number of ingredients so it would be quick and easy. Sum it all up. It's something fun. So if you think about it, what food will equal to all that description? It's something we you kids really love. Pasta! Yes, you kids. All homemade, all delicious, all loving, all lasagna. Makes me hungry already. Good food is always fun to share with someone you love, but that person better not be voracious. I don't want to be fighting over my food. Just kidding. The best part of cooking is the conversation I get with my grandma. She loves to cook for me, all my favorite food. I used to help her, but I make more mess than I help. Oh no! So I decided long ago to just keep her company and wait for the food. But I did love our conversation. It's when she is cooking and I just sit beside her talking about whatever and stuff whatever food inside my mouth. Here to join me in memory lane is my ever supportive and gorgeous sister at the
Here we go. Wow! Sugoya! Whoa! You are the real hero! Ready? Get set, go! You can do it! Hurry! Wow, even better than Mama.
Now that it's already ready, Let's use this time to talk about Lola Azon. We call her Lola Azon from the root word corazon. Thus, her name is Azon. So tell me, Atash, do you know the story behind this food?
There used to be a time when Lola Azon makes lasagna during Christmas. But since our cousins love it so much, she makes it more often than she should. Grandkids want, grandkids get. What brats? Well, for all I know, she loves to cook for us. No mystery there.
So there you have it, guys. The story behind the elusive lasagna. Well, guys, it is time. It is done. Which can only mean one more thing to do. Eat! So there you have it, guys. Lola Azon's homemade lasagna. Let's see what else is missing. What we need is to share it with everybody. There you have it, guys. That is it for me today. My name is Isabella, and this has been another episode of the Q-Kids Zone, where we do things the Q-Kids way. Catch you next time. Bye!
Wisdom is knowing when to use knowledge. This has been Gea Josen B. Palalay.
Knowledge is power. Only wisdom is liberty. This is Nero Emmanuel Sirigoglio.
Happy 2022, everyone! This has been Lay Angelo Valencia, Quantum Leap East School News, reaching out to you.